Convicted felon Hunter Biden was found guilty on federal gun crime charges. You'll never guess how the media will make this all about Donald Trump. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. First son Hunter, convicted felon Biden, son to father of a convicted felon Joe Biden, was found guilty on all charges in this historic criminal case out of Delaware. It took the jury just 3 hours to reach their verdict. It focused on his purchase of a firearm in 2018 when convicted felon Hunter Biden lied on the gun form, claiming he wasn't a drug addict at the time that he made this purchase. The way convicted felon Hunter Biden's defense made it sound, you'd actually have to be snorting a line of cocaine while filling out the form for it to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, thankfully, the jury rejected that silly claim. But something tells me they're not going to be calling him convicted felon Hunter Biden. In fact, I think they're going to stop calling Donald Trump a convicted felon. And you can already see the strategy here. They're making this all about Trump. Check this out.
And obviously, Rachel, these cases are vastly different. The case we witnessed a couple of weeks back with the former President Donald Trump, his guilty verdict. Now today, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, with a guilty verdict in this case. Again, cases completely different. But one thing politically people will be looking at is the reaction. We know after the Trump verdict, a lot of rhetoric about a rigged system, up against the former president. Those are the words being used by the campaign, the former president himself. And just a couple of days ago, on the other hand, the current president, President Biden, telling me in Normandy that he would respect the outcome.
Now, it's a point that's made in bad faith, of course. Convicted felon Hunter Biden was given a sweetheart plea deal, and he still rejected it. It fell apart. And he indisputably broke the law, and he was punished for it. Trump was charged with an invented crime of falsifying business documents based on a federal law that the feds passed on because there was no crime. And as a misdemeanor charge in New York, that same prosecuting attorney's office said, we're not going to do anything. But then Trump was going to be the nominee, and we were close to election, so hey, they decided to charge him. It absolutely was rigged in that entire case because it was designed to find him guilty temporarily so they can say convicted felon Donald Trump. Everyone knows it's going to be overturned on appeal. But then you get this kind of coverage. Again, check this out.
And David, this verdict certainly flies in the face of everything that the former president has been pushing, trying to undermine the legal and the justice system. And we know President Biden has come out very strongly against that. And it was notable that he told you just days ago that he would respect the outcome of this verdict regardless of what happens. We know that is something that the former president has not done after he was found guilty on 34 counts of falsifying business records.
There you have it. That's a strategy. Use an unrelated and very dissimilar case against convicted felon Hunter Biden to prove that Trump's politically driven case wasn't rigged at all. It's almost like the dishonest media coverage is part of that rigged system that we're supposed to pretend doesn't exist. Jason Rantz here with Greg Nunn, your local tax expert and advocate. Greg, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, Jason, great to be with you again and talk about these tax issues.
So some folks out there have the IRS calling them nonstop or even coming to their door. What do you recommend they do?
You are protected by statute, by law, that when you have representation, they have to deal with your representative. And I am acting in your best interest when I'm dealing with the IRS. And I tell you, you don't want to talk to them, it'll just stress you out.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Greg might be able to negotiate a settlement for up to 85% off the original amount owed, and that includes penalties and interest. Call Greg Nunn today. Did you like that commentary? Make sure you subscribe to the podcast of The Jason Rantz Show. Get it at KTTH.com or wherever it is you download your podcasts.